Good morning. Oh, there I am. All right. Welcome. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so I know most of you are watching at home. Maybe we won't do the camera this morning. I'm not sure. All right. Welcome to you. And if you're new with us today, we have welcome packets on the back wall. They're blue with labels, and pick one up. And if you would like a tour of the grounds afterwards, we have 3.5 acres here, and it's a wonderful, beautiful place, so we like to show it off. Just come and see me. And we're going to open with music by a wonderful Holly Day. Good morning, Holly.
So I'm going to start off the first part of the song by myself just to teach you the melody. And then the second part, I will ask you to do the call and response with me. When you search my eyes, you'll see my soul. When we share a smile, well, God's love is shown. When I seek your light, I find my home. When I search for strength in the hand I hold, that's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. With all my heart, I see you. I see you. Now this part, I want you to join me. When I search your light, when I search your light, I find my own. I find my own. When I feel your love, I know I'm home. When I search your eyes, I see your soul. When we share a smile, God's grace is known. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. With all my heart,
I love that song, Holly. It's one of my favorites. All right. Well, I'm Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell. I'm a practitioner here, retired minister, and I'm here to welcome you to the center where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. We do that through our classes and the many, many activities that we have here. We're going to invite the children up for their program, and we'll sing to them once they get up here. And while we're doing that, Lindy is going to pan the audience so that people around the world can see who's here and wish they were here. And all of you at home that didn't come because it's Super Bowl Sunday, see? We came. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? We are. So wonderful. All right. I would like to thank everyone that came early today to make this a wonderful place. Holly is here. Lindy and Joey are in the sound booth, and Doug and Ronnie are our greeters this morning, and we have other greeters for you new people. So if you want to get to know more about the center, be sure and tap into them. If you have a cell phone, I appreciate it if you would silence it. Thank you. And we have some new member welcoming going on. Reverend Sue? Yeah.
Drum roll. I like it. They're so good. Yes. So I would like, this is exciting because I always appreciate when people come up to me and say, I really want to be a member. And this person you know very well, Claire Bay. Claire Bay Manor, I should say. So Claire, come forward, please. Yeah. Yeah. Our lovely Claire, so many years ago when she came to Reading, she was teaching yoga, and she said, is there any space for me here? And I said, oh gosh, yeah. So she started off in the pavilion doing chair yoga, and I think most of you have been a student of hers at one time or another. She's very popular, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And also her beautiful voice in the choir. We also, here is your letter of, now we own you, and then, and Mary Nagashima, you want to come on up?
Oh.
This,
I should let you hold her hand.
this lovely lady, she came to me a few weeks ago and said, I've decided I really want to be a member. And the way she said it with such sincerity of heart, because she is Rosa Zupanek's daughter, and I have watched the loyalty of their relationship to one another over so many years. And now she has stepped in to complete that journey of being part of our community 100% now. So thank you for that. You're a gift to us all. So here's your letter, and Mary has something to say to you as well.
Thank you. Years ago, a long time ago, when I was co-senior minister with Reverend Sue, I was in the office in admin, and I thought, I'm going to write the history of this center. because it's fascinating. I went through every book, every binder, everything in the attic, everything I could find, every drawer, everything, and put together the history of the Center for Spiritual Living from 1971 to 2014. I'll have to do a follow-up book someday. But I wanted you to have it because it's fascinating reading. It's absolutely fascinating because our first minister had previously been a Baptist minister. In Florida, he had a church. And he decided to move to LA and met Earnest Holmes and studied with him and became a religious science minister. And this was his first place. And he was good. He was powerful and people loved him. And a year later, he died of a heart attack. So anyway, there's a lot of fascinating things in there. And I thought you might enjoy reading them.
Oh, that's a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
Can I just say that the gift of you and Mary, when I walked in, the gift of your love, just touched my heart so deeply. And then Sue, being so open, invited me to close one of her classes to introduce me to the people in her class. And it was just, from the moment I walked in, I knew this was my home. So thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And so all of you, can you just stand and applaud their journey and know that, it really does mean something when you say, I want to be a part. I want to be a part of what's going on here. I want to be a part of how we're continuing to grow in the community and be the lighthouse. Well, come on forward. It's an altar call. Come on. Come on. You want it? The call? Keep coming. Don't let that lady stop you. Don't let her stop you. There you go. Come on. Yeah, I don't have a letter for you, but you're welcome. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, everyone. You may be seated, and thank both of you. Thank you.
Thank you both. Oh, he's still going to come.
Oh, is that sweet or what? Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. You know, our musician, Dalton Fitzgerald, I remember when he was that little, and they used to have him in the front row, and he'd just be playing with his toys right there. And Dr. James all of a sudden said something about the Bible, that somebody wouldn't give you a stone when you needed bread. And he looked up and said, "That's right." He was so cute. Oh, God. Well, another fun thing I get to share with you, I was just looking in the history book, and it was in 1978, in February, that we got our charter. And that was really nice. So it's been a while. It's been a really good ride all the way. All right, let's get on with the fun. And okay, we have some announcements. We sure do. We are seeking new board members. There are 3 openings, and we have had a couple people sign up, but we still need a couple more to make sure we get the right balance on the board. It's a really powerful way to serve this center, to be on the board, and it's a 3-year task. And it's important that you've taken at least 1 or 2 Science of Mind classes to know what this whole thing is about, to be on the board. So there's an application at the board member desk with Rich, who's our board member today. Good morning. And he'll help you with that. The used book sale goes through February 18th. Hope you find a lot of wonderful books to buy. And after this service, I'll be in the meeting room in the office offering another membership class. If you are thinking, what is this membership all about? It'll be from 11:15 to about 12:15. I have a little booklet for you, and to explore what does it mean to be a member here. So I'd love to talk with you about that. Sacred Sisters meets Monday, February 12th, 7 to 8:30, and it's exploring chapters 7 and 8 in a book by Donna Markova. The title is I Will Not Die, an Unlived Life. So, that discussion is going to be fun. That is going to be fun. Monday, February 12th, Roy Wolfstead's men's group meets from 7 to 9 for friendship and fun and good discussions between the men. Crystal Bowls Sound Sealing Bath with Irene Bolmer. She has her beautiful crystal bowls here and puts you in a in a really meditative state, and you can hear the sound of the bowls and how they move you through the chakras in your inner spirit. So that's a really wonderful opportunity. Soar, the Spirit of Adventure Renewed, Saturday, February 17th, 3 easy hikes along the Sacramento along the Sacramento River at Turtle Bay. And then there's 3 little hikes there, so that'll be fun. And then join some of our members for the Hope Van, connecting with the homeless at the Breslauer Lane Social Services area, Friday, February 23rd, 8:15 a.m. And if you can bring a casserole dish or something with utensils to share with those people, they greatly appreciate that. And the Hope Van is a way for them to sign up for social services. It's a way for them to get a lot of medical help through that Hope Van. So it's a very important location. Wherever the Hope Van is, you'll find a lot of people that may be hungry for the day. Speaker Truth, Poetry, and Pose Open Mic Night, Friday, February 23rd, 7 to 9. Stephen Shem Smith is sponsoring that, hosting that. So come and sing or speak, play a tune, tell a story, or be your best comic. It's all welcome. And that's always well attended. Come and listen? Oh. Okay, great. Sounds like a good plan. And now I'd like to invite Charlie up to talk about another thing that he's already taken this course. That's why I wanted him to speak about it.
Good morning. So I don't know, is Christine Stewart here? I don't see her. But anyway, Christine Stewart is a Healing Touch teacher and provider here in the Redding area. She's a nurse, but she's also a certified Healing Touch practitioner and teacher. And she's offering the Foundations of Healing Touch coming up here at the center. And it's going to be February 24th and March 2nd here in the sanctuary, 2 Saturdays. And I'm announcing it because it's actually a course that's changed my life. You know, it opens you up to a healing modality using the energy field. And so what you're doing is you're tapping into the other person's energy along with your energy and with an alignment. And it's a healing practice that is really profound. And Sandy Foley is here. She's in the back, so she's one of the students as well. And so in Redding, we've had a number of practitioners trained. I've gone through course 1 and 2, and there's 5 altogether, and I can't wait for the 3rd one. But this one's going to be course 1. And I highly encourage you to take a look at it. There's a more in-depth read about it, you know, in your program. Probably more than you want me to read to you right now, but it explains the whole process. And it really is a beautiful practice. Sandy and I have kind of offered this as part of a healing up here on stage at one time. And I think we did it for like 2 hours. We had a lot of people come through. But we also have formed a group, and we practice on each other on the second Friday of each month. And so once you get into the coursework, then you can be part of that group, and it's really a lot of fun and very, very inspiring. So I invite you to take a look at it, read up on it, and join us in this beautiful community of Healing Touch. Thank you.
That sounds really powerful. Sounds wonderful. All right, let's see. We've got the announcements. Now we have a reading by Lori, and then Charlie will invite the bell 3 times, and that's that sound moment to take the reading into your heart. And then I'll do a spiritual mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer, and then Reverend Sue will talk. I love this topic. Transformation begins. Trust in yourself. Oh, that'll be good, won't it? Lori?
Some of you may have heard these words before, but if you haven't, I invite you to really take them in. The Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through the bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Many transformations begin when you walk in the door of the center and you find out the truth that God is all there is, that infinite intelligence that created all things, people, places, everything, created you and me and the person next to you, and even your next door neighbor. And the transformation doesn't end. It's just the beginning. And as we live and grow in this philosophy called the science of mind, and we learn how we are so creative, that we have the creative energy that God used to create the world, and we use it to create our life. And if we haven't been using it to create our life through negativity or other distractions, here is where we learn to use positive thoughts, positive beliefs, viewing pictures in our mind of how we want our life to be. And it begins another transformation. And finally, as we see that open up, we are so grateful. Thank God I learned it now, not later, not in the next lifetime. So in grateful gratitude for everyone that's here and watching from living rooms around the world, we are so grateful that you too are in the midst of this transformation. And we know it's so perfect wherever you are on this path, because it's eternal, that it's right and perfect for you. And that's why we say, and so it is. Reverend Sue. Yeah.
Thank you, Judy. Hello, everyone. Again. It's fun to stand up. Should I do this and have you guys feel awkward the whole time? Yeah, that just makes you pay attention to me, like, I wish I could just fix it. It happens on its own. So, what a delight, though, to look out and see people I haven't seen for a long time. Hello, Donna. And Jennifer and Georgia, my old high school friends. The twins are here. They're back. They're back from Nevada. They were a great example when they lived here of being in service wherever there was a call. And Donna changed our life by taking us to Peru. Many of us live off of that to this day. So much, so much. So what am I talking about today? I'm talking about trust. That's our topic for this month. And I'm using the book. It's one of her newest works, Trust, Mastering the Four Essential Trust by Ianya Vasant. And first off, we're going to look at this each week through February. But it starts with trusting ourselves. And I've so enjoyed peeking into some of her writings to share with you today, because transformation does begin by tapping into a trust in ourselves that we're doing the right thing. There was a beautiful affirmation that CSL had put, Center for Spiritual Living, overall, the organization had stamped this with, it says, change is challenging, but I can do hard things. I can do hard things. There was a dear friend of mine, Heather, and she was going through many challenges, and she just kept telling me, her and her little son would say, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. And it gave her the confidence and the courage and the strength to master whatever was before her. But there was a very clever thing that was in this book that I want to share right up front. And it was written by somebody anonymously, but Ilana has talked about this Noah's Ark story was something that instilled confidence of trust in her life, that everything will come out okay. Maybe some of you have heard this before. I've never heard of it. And there's 11 empowering trust lessons. So listen up, here we go. You all know Noah's Ark? Don't want to assume that. Okay. So number 1, don't miss the boat. Number 2, remember that we're all in the same boat. Number 3, plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. 4, this is a tough one, stay fit. When you're 600 years old, someone may ask you to do something really big. Number 5, don't listen to critics. Just get on with the job that needs to be done. Number 6, build your future on high ground, which may not be ground you are familiar with. Number 7, for safety's sake, travel in pairs. Number 8, speed isn't always an advantage. The snails were on board with the cheetahs. I like that one. Number 9, when you're stressed, float a while. 10, remember the ark was built by amateurs. The Titanic was built by professionals. Zing. And then finally, number 11, no matter how bad the storm is, when you're with the divine, there's always a rainbow waiting. Isn't that lovely? Always a rainbow waiting. So we're leaning into the wisdom this week, or this whole month, because it's really important for us to explore the ideas of really looking back into yourself and saying, do I really trust myself? Do I, what they talk about, this still small voice, do I trust that? Am I led by that? Or am I held back by some underlying fear or doubt in my experience? And so through these writings and through our time together, we're going to reach and tap into a deeper understanding of that current of discomfort that until I mention it, you might not even recognize that you're floating in that. And when we're willing to step into what might be a little uncomfortable, we can start to recognize and deal with our past. And what I appreciate about this, then we discover our personal soul power, our soul power. And we transform ourselves into a greater idea of who we are, why we're even here. So it's our spiritual evolution. That's what's going on here. And we are interested in applying the science of mind philosophy, because that's what we're based on here, but also the many valuable teachers and sages that we bring forth in our time together through classes, through sharing a message together. All of this are teachers of trust, and we want to bear witness to our own personal growth along the way, because there might be that for too long we assumed that we were where we need to be, and we might get very comfortable there and we say, I've arrived, and not even recognize that you're stagnant or stuck on your journey. There might be hidden in us those experiences that were so difficult as a child to deal with that we just buried them. We buried the experience, we buried all our feelings around them, and we left them buried. We think, well, maybe that's what it means to deal with it. Just bury it. So it goes on through a lifetime, our lifetime, untouched and not acknowledged. But all the while, those are seeds as well that we planted somewhere in our soul. And what we sow, we reap. So it's an important message for us. As we find ourselves maybe today puzzled at times, paralyzed at times by an experience that you come across, freezes you up, sabotages your personal growth, and you wonder, how did I get here? What did I do in my life to experience this now? And so you question and you probe, but that, what you buried in deep, is covered with layers and layers of protection. So that is what's sabotaging our growth and keeping us from propelling ourselves forward. So our choice to hide from something unpleasant and uncomfortable can simply imprison us then, oddly enough, into a comfort zone, just to feel safe. So as we probe into the personal inquiry that the author is inviting us to be willing to look at in order to build this trust, she presents these 4 questions. So listen to your own self here. Do you trust your own voice? Number 1. Number 2, do you trust that you can hear the voice of God or the divine? 3, do you trust yourself to see and hear what others are really saying and doing? That's a big one, because so often we leap to an assumption. Number 4, do you trust, no matter how hard this might be, that there are no mistakes in life? That one you want to kind of tuck under a rug somewhere. Because oftentimes when we're going through something that stinks so bad, we just don't even want to give it a break. There's got to be a mistake that this is happening to me. But the answer is, why not you? Why not you if you need that stinking of a story to get you to wake up? Sorry to be so blunt, but I have 2 new members, so I'm really bold. So if you paused on any one of those questions, if you paused on any one of them in your curiosity, it's most likely because you too have experienced a broken trust, is how we look at it. There's a broken trust along the way. Something happened that got your attention, whether at that time you realized it or not. It's a message from a time of broken trust that was instilled deeper pain. It instilled a deeper pain in you, and it needs your attention now, and we're all here for one another to address that. We're asked to listen this month to our feelings in a whole different way, and what is festering around our feelings. I know that we want to tuck some of these hard moments of our experience, we want to tuck them away, and we just want to be over it. And we all want to be over it. But life will continue, as you probably are aware by now, that it's going to cycle around and spin them back into your experience again and again until the challenge is overcome and you wake up to the glory of your true self. Those life moments, though, are ruled by a buried sense of fear and resistance. So it's not like we've done anything wrong. It's just dealing with what is in our own way. Now, Earnest Holmes is real clear saying fear itself, fear, brings limitation and lack in its wake and destroys happiness and possibility of a greater, deeper degree of livingness to those who suffer from it. Fear is blocking this complete givingness of spirit. Fear is a belief in limitation, a denial that the divine is our center and our source for all the good. And he goes on to say, what would happen? What would happen if we could convert the energy of fear to faith? The energy of doubt and uncertainty into a feeling of belonging to this universe and being safe in it with the capital I. Would not the original artist himself go forth into new creation through us? So we want to trust that. If we take that bold step to deeply look at who we are, we will be transformed by and molded by the divine. So a life divine already is longing for each one of us to restore the trust in yourself, but also to the divine. It's a partnership. To recognize this pattern that you don't even probably recognize that you stepped into of giving your power away, giving yourself away to someone or something. And it's repeatedly, unfortunately, beat you down. It lives in your head. Lives in your head, and you know it. It's one of those voices that shame you. Could be a teacher, could be a sibling, a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, but it's a voice. It's a voice that you give too much credit to. And there all the while is the still small voice, oh my beloved, come home to me. And yet we are, I can't, I did, whatever. We freeze up and we pour out our energy into the other. So if your response was always trying to please that source of the voice, this is where we want to look at today, because oftentimes we did that in our innocence. We did anything we could to quiet that voice of shame. And those voices became the demon then of our authority in a very young life. And now as it rattles through us at these times when we meet a challenge, there's the same vibration attached to it. Do you follow me? Do you have that in you? One person in here does. I applaud you. Wow. Very amazing. We're doing good work. There you go. So this idea that we strive on the spiritual journey to trust the still small voice, to help create it to be a louder, more bold voice, and present your life now to walk in a loving direction. As said in biblical scripture, all of this is not coming from your head anymore, it's coming from your heart. This is the one of the phrases in the Bible, trust in the Lord. Now I paraphrase that, trust in the soul nature that is one with the divine. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, which would be my words, ego influence. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to a higher knowing. So bold of me to paraphrase the scripture. Here come those voices in my head. How dare you? That's not what it means. But to me, that's what it means. That's what my heart says it means. That's where my Lord is, in my soul. It is my soul nature. So we know, I think we all know, we've been on the journey for a long time, that when our heart stirs, when we recognize something, there's a reason for us to trust someone. They become our friend. They become our clan. They become our sisters. They become our brothers. They become what we have here as a community because we start to really trust one another and show up for one another and reflect back in the mirror image of one another this divine face, this divine sense of the truest self. So let us know that even though at times of our life we felt like things were happening to us, but we're not the victims. We've never have been the victims of life. That's the courage that this philosophy brings to our soul. When we speak of our deepest understanding of life experiences and recognize that everything we did, we did it to survive. And we recognize also in that survival, you know where it came from? Within. It came from within you. You still had to do it. It came from within you. That's the power that dwells within each of us. An inner soul power dwells within each of us that is so incredibly trustworthy and authentic, and we can rely on it. This is my source of good. I stand in that truth. Now, Ilana talks about a quote from the Course of Miracles that led her through her experience, and it's very powerful. Notice how this might shift your consciousness from victim to conscious connection to wisdom. So you've heard many times, we're trying to move, in her words, from woe me, poor me, why me, to this. I am source. I am one with the source. I am as Spirit created me to be. And all things I see and experience reflect the ideas I create in my mind, what I create in my mind. This statement alone sets our heart on track and allows you then to start to witness and see and create a new experience if you realize that you are releasing what bounds you and address any limiting beliefs that have been imposed upon yourself because you lived in the boundary of your experience. Annette White is quoted as saying, "Each time you try something for the first time, you will grow. A little piece of the fear of the unknown is removed, and replaced with a sense of empowerment. Now think about that little baby that was just crawling up here a little bit ago. Think about how empowered that little one, before the mother knows it, is walking, right? Freedom. I can find light switches now. I can find electric plugs. I can find somebody's pills. Ah, freedom for the baby. But that's a growth process. So we might have been informed that what we did was wrong in some time of our life. But think about this. Being told that who we are is wrong, this notion of being wrong is what sets us into a shame and blame area that is challenging to grow out from. It's a deeper insult to your heart, to your essence. And it leaves a very cruel influence, damages our ability to trust ourselves, and we can't trust other people. It contaminates our life in some subtle way from some moment it began. And we shrink into seeing ourselves through that filter, and that's what's limiting us. Sometimes we're pounding our head on the wall. I can't figure out my way through this. But think about this. You've done nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You've just been in the shadow in your journey up until now. This is Super Bowl Sunday. Big deal. But it's also Super Soul Sunday, right? I celebrate that each one of you go eat those, what did you say, Charlie? 8,500 calories today? Go for it. Go for it. Whatever feeds your soul as you celebrate the truth of who you are and you step into trust. Because the trust is an essential soul need. It calls out to you. What was unjustly impressed upon you as a sweet child is what creates an emotional wound later on. And yes, admittedly, that stunted your trust at first. But from that, we most likely learned that it's just easier to please other people than to really stand up for my own self and declare what I want. But hear me, we can heal through prayer, through treatment, through fellowship of others that see your light, that see you for who you are. That beautiful song that Holly sings, I see you. I see you. And if we could start really looking at each other and saying, I see you, I see the source of your being, we are healing. Because the source of you somehow got trapped in that inner child that wants to be protected. Place that inner child in your own meditations on the lap of your being, very, very close to your heart. Feel yourself. Even you can hold a beautiful stuffed animal somewhere in your home that you've tucked away. Pull it out and let it be you, and hold yourself and trust yourself and breathe with yourself, because that part of you that you are protecting so carefully is the consciousness in you that is holding the key to your healing. And when you can restore faith in yourself, when you can allow that to unfold, you begin to feel this sense of one true essence within me that is absolutely perfect. And I have the power and the ability to trust and to love. Our author states, when we heal the inner child and we reconnect with the innocence and trusting nature of the authentic self, which is so closely linked to the inner child, we learn to trust others. And that becomes a very conscious act in response to experience rather than an unconscious reaction to unhealed wounds. So trust in self this week. Learn to have access to that inner voice and be connected to that inner voice that is forever singing to you and calling you home. It's for your highest and best to manifest from this inner heart. I know we have several voices to deal with, but I know you know what they sound like. They're annoying. They're irritating. They have a whine to them, and they have a temperament. And you could just know that's not the divine. That's not loving spirit. We want to empower and validate this divine voice within. That's the soul work. That's what we choose to surrender to today for a greater good. So you might recognize maybe throughout your life you have invested your trust in what all your senses are telling you. That's good to look at your senses, to feel things that way. But try to listen to the true response from your senses. Several of us are deeply invested in the dark night of the soul through the path of yoga. And there is the picture of the 5 horses pulling the chariot in the Bhagavad Gita. Those 5 horses are our senses. And if we don't keep them in line, they'll pull us in every sense of the directions of the world and maybe even tip over the carriage they pull, which is ourself. So we look at this from a broad perspective. If we're just living a sensory-driven life, it can only be helpful when we're also in touch with our heart and what you feel. Because to survive these experiences, we relied then also on controlling things. Here's the invitation. Just soften. Soften into your own precious vulnerability. There's that word again. And this is from Douglas Block. There is no pain quite like that of a broken heart. But a broken heart is an open heart. And when this happens, a transformation can take place. In the midst of pain, we feel a softness and a vulnerability that are truly beautiful. We become more accepting, more open. Judgment and criticism are replaced by compassion for others and a true acceptance of life. I think that's a beautiful way to kind of pull our message together. We do not want to change, this is from Earnest Holmes, all the patterns of our thought in just one moment. Be too crazy. Rather, it takes little by little until finally an old thought pattern becomes transformed into a new one by an inner alchemy of this precious mind that lives all through us, by an operation of which we don't see it, but a manifestation that we then experience. We walk in our talk. So I understand that it's never comfortable to move outside of a comfort zone, but as the saying goes, that's where the magic happens. That's where we grow, and that's where we learn, and that's where we develop and allow ourselves to expand into something that we didn't think was quite possible. And so when we start to realize I am standing at the threshold of my own personal transformation, I realize I might be feeling uncomfortable, but I long to experience self-trust. I want to thrive in a new life. I want to let go of the limitations of my self-talk of the past, and I want to change. I want to feel whole. That shift of energy is happening right here as I speak to you. I can almost see it and feel it descend upon you, through you, as you. I can feel it. Where you might have felt cocooned in, you're suddenly sitting there going, yeah, I got this. I got this. Look how much taller I am. I'm going to go tell my doctor I did not lose 5 inches. I'm now trusting myself, and I'm growing into that. The Buddha once taught that our suffering comes from our resistance to pain and not the pain itself. We are invited to live and experience life to its fullest in the present moment and unlock and release the drag of our past that influences our today. Are you with me? Yeah, I am. I think so. You go, girl. I'm going to put you right behind me, and you just keep doing these things. The willingness to open your heart is what the invitation is. Stay kind, stay caring, but open to yourself. Be open and loving to yourself. And also open and loving to others. That's the foundational pillar, she responds to us, that is the first foundational pillar for self-trust. Feelings matter, so we stay awake, and we're not going to abandon ourselves this week. I want you to feel the experience on any level where you carry this energy, because this is your journey. Practitioners, ministers are here always to help you. If you feel stuck, we'll help you try to find your way to the core issue. But it's your journey. We want you to own it, and don't compare what you're feeling to what others might feel, because you have to be willing to unleash your control and learn to anchor in what I talk about as self-trust. So I invite Judy forward. There's so much. I probably could stand up here and read you the whole book. However, this beautiful statement of truth from Marianne Williamson, I want to close it with this, because I really am. This is a bold journey this month to encourage that our heart becomes stronger, that our voice is important. Our voice matters. And so loving intentions will support you this week. You are seeking a level of consciousness that knows and believes without a doubt that you are safe always. So Marianne Williams says, the spiritual journey is the relinquishment of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. Love is the essential, existential fact. It is our ultimate reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning of life. So if you find yourself saying on some dark morning, I don't know why I should get up. I don't know what my purpose is. Love anyway. Love yourself. Look in the mirror and love yourself. Love your cat, love your dog, love your neighbor. Love whoever walks in your path that day. Just see if you can do it. How long? How many hours? And if the critical voice starts to come up, shut it up. Stop it. Let's just go in prayer. Because I know as I stand before you, I could continue to share the words of others on this, but I invite you to become very still and begin your prayer. God within me as me, Spirit within me as me, love within me as me. Speak now. Speak now and flood my being with trust. Allow me the wisdom and the way and the insight and the transformational excitement of trusting my way. Trusting my way, trusting always I am led and directed. Allow me to walk my talk, to invest in myself this week, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 moment at a time. I believe in me. I can do hard things. I've got this, God. I've got this, Spirit. With my divine connection, I know that as we whisper those words, my divine connection, I'm never alone, and always filled with a truth that effortlessly flows through me, and I am not afraid. Because each one of us leaves here today seeing that we stand in the oneness. We stand in the power of love. We know our way. We allow our word to shape our way. We leave here today, we might have crawled in as caterpillars, but we leave here today as butterflies. Wings flapping with color. Flying high because we're no longer burdened with what was. Thank you, God, for the inspiration of the authors that we study, the wisdom that we share together just by sitting next to whoever you are sitting next to. You are all receiving from one another. There is a truth unfolding here. There is a trust unfolding here. And I give thanks for that. Can you feel now your heart unshielded, unguarded, open to what is, brave, courageous? Love's leading you. You've got this. We give great thanks. Feel the gratitude. And we release the word. We release the prayer. What is. And we walk forward. Empowered, lighter, freer, joyful. Oh, thank you, God. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Judy. I also wanted to say I got so self-absorbed when I got here. It's we're honoring the different. I left it over there. Black History Month, and so I have some handouts, and I'll have them out on the back desk. If not today, then throughout the month. Lovely poetry and artistry to go inform yourself and look and see their journey, traveled along your journey, and find some insight and some joy in sharing the lives of others as you're inspired. So thank you for listening today, and Holly, thank you.
Seek peace and honor the life behind you, and praise the life in front of you. All above and around you, beneath and beside you, create a space inside of you. Now rest yourself, 'cause you are held. Rest yourself, you are held, and all is well.
If the ushers would come forward, please. Thank you. I know you just wanted to keep dreaming, didn't you? Oh, Holly, that was good. So know with me now that as we prepare to give our offering, our hearts are filled with love and support and appreciation, since we know what is offered here is for our spiritual well-being. We're filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance, knowing as I give, I receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and those that come in during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in so many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. So now we'll have a closing song by Holly, and afterwards, if you would like a spiritual mind treatment, please come up with us by the bell. Shirley is here, and Christy, and Charlie, and myself. And then it's almost 11:15, time for the membership class, but let's say 11:20 or so. So get something in the social hall and come into the meeting room in the office, and I'll see you there.
God's design. These eyes of mine long to behold you.
That's our Holly. Yeah, thank you. So I think I left a few books out there that I haven't bought. So have fun and please take them away from me. I have an addiction. So load up today. Our center prospers by your willingness to take them away from Sue. Also, welcome the new members if you pass them by. We appreciate Mary and Claire being here with us today. And just enjoy this day, this beautiful, beautiful day. Isn't it awesome? And it's all for us. Yeah. So thank you. I think Charlie got those papers copied for you. One of them also, you can evaluate yourself. How much do I trust myself? She leaves you some questions, so grab one of those as well and self-reflect on that. So God bless you. Thank you.